What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Palantir and how there is a brand new lawsuit on the table, and this time it is directly against Palantir. Now, we're also going to clear up some of the misinformation from the news media outlets about Palantir's previous lawsuit. Now, if you guys have been watching my other Palantir videos, you guys know that this lawsuit was brought on by an organization called Open Democracy, and it was against the UK's NHS over the use of Palantir's platforms. Now, we're going to go over exactly what happened in this lawsuit and what this key misinformation is and clear up exactly what is going on. We're also going to cover a brand new contract that Palantir could be receiving in the near future in the energy space. And if Palantir is able to secure this contract, this is going to confirm what I have been saying over the past couple of weeks, that Palantir's total addressable market is unknown. It's actually limitless, in my opinion, because their whole software is just helping companies with data analytics. And essentially every company or organization out there has data that they need to interpret. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys would like to earn those 2 free stocks with Webull, valued up to $1,850, make sure you check out that link down below in my description. All you have to do is sign up for an account, deposit over $100, and you get those 2 free stocks. Now, this is also a great way if you guys would like to help support the channel, because when you guys get your 2 free stocks, I get a free stock as well. And if you guys enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you never want to be late on any one of these videos that we go over this breaking news for Palantir, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So when we're looking at the chart of Palantir, we can see a very significant sell-off and a consolidation period over the last couple of weeks. Now, we did see some bullishness on one day over this past week, but on Thursday, we did see a slight sell-off, down about 1%, and then another 0.5% in the after-hours trading period. Now, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are for educational and entertainment purposes only, but I do think that Palantir is going to be an amazing long-term bet in the stock market. I'm so bullish on these data analytics companies, especially Palantir, because they can do things that no other company is capable of at the current time, which makes them have a super large moat around their business model. And the fact that I don't think that they have a total addressable market and it's actually limitless sets them up in a perfect position for the future. So if you guys have some cash sitting in your brokerage accounts, again, this is not financial advice, but it could be a good choice if you guys agree with me that Palantir is going to be an amazing company for the long term to continuously buy these dips. Now, in order to understand better exactly what this new lawsuit is about, there's an article about how much of Palantir does Alex Karp still own, and it goes over their corporate structure, and this is going to be very important for this new lawsuit. So when data mining company Palantir went public on September 30th, 2020, there was a lot of speculation surrounding the company, often described as a secret tech company whose customers include government intelligence agencies like the CIA and FBI. Palantir chose the untraditional route of a direct listing rather than a traditional offering. This meant that the company didn't raise any funds prior to its IPO. Instead, existing shareholders could sell and liquidate their shares on the open market. Now, we did have a share lockup period, which expired after Palantir's last earnings, so some of these shares were locked up. Now, this plan led CEO Alex Karp and other executives beginning a fire sale of their shares over the coming months. Within days of Palantir's IPO, Karp sold 14.1 million shares, about 11% of his stake, for $135 million. Now, since his first sale, Karp has gone on to sell additional shares once per month since October 2020. Karp has made 4 equal sales of 1.285 million shares each in November, December, January, and February. Each sale netted a higher return. Now, this is part of their trading plan. These are predetermined sales, so this really isn't that big of a deal. But then this article mentions, so where does this leave Karp in terms of Palantir ownership? So Palantir's corporate structure comes with controversy. This is going to be one of the key factors in why this lawsuit is being brought against Palantir. So prior to Palantir releasing its IPO, there was quite a bit of back and forth about how the company's executive structure would be laid out. Last-minute flurries and revisions and amendments to its voting structure made the days leading up to the public offering hectic at best. In the filing with the SEC less than 2 weeks weeks before the IPO, Palantir unveiled new warnings about the unusually complex organizational structure designed to leave control in the hands of three founders, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, and Stephen Cohen. Now, this is a good sign if you have trust in these individuals for the long term, but if you don't want the entire fate of the company to be left up to three people, then you would disagree with this. Just 3 days later, an amended filing explained how the founders could redesignate a certain allotment of the company's shares whenever they deemed it, which gave them the ability to unilaterally adjust their voting power. So we can see that Alex Karp still owns a significant ownership stake in Palantir. When we come down a little bit further, it's actually about $173 million worth, and they also have options that they can exercise to buy more. So these sales that the executives are making, I don't think are a big problem long term, but the corporate organizational structure is where this lawsuit comes in. So now that we have a better understanding of the corporate organizational structure, let's come over to this actual lawsuit. So a Palantir Technologies shareholder sued Peter Thiel and its other two founders in Delaware Chancery Court on Thursday, claiming they made themselves corporate emperor for life through charter positions that made investor votes magically appear and disappear. The founders decided to completely untether voting power from equity ownership by providing that their shares always control 49.99% of the vote, no matter how much of Palantir they own, the complaint says. This power grab stretches the flexible bands that keep Delaware law in balance beyond their breaking point. In addition to Thiel, the lawsuit targets Alex Karp, Stephen Cohen, and Palantir itself. It challenges the legality of charter clauses, allegedly providing that the relative voting power of each share be continuously adjusted post hoc to accommodate the grant of fixed voting power to the three founders. Palantir did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Thursday. So then when we take a look at the details of this lawsuit in terms of a legal sense, we can see that the cause of action sections 212, 151, and 231 of the Delaware General Corporation Law, relief invalidation of the Class F stock and the charter positions authorizing it, cost, and fees. The potential class size, so this is a class action lawsuit being brought against Palantir, the holders of 1.75 billion Class A shares of Palantir stock and 69 million Class B shares. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see when this lawsuit gets brought and they start going through the court proceedings, if this holds weight and the shareholders are actually going to agree with this. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that this is really going to cause such a massive drop in Palantir's share price or affect them in the long term at all. I don't think that a bunch of Palantir shareholders who are super bullish on Palantir over the long term are going to see that these three individuals, Alex Karp, Peter Thiel, and Stephen Cohen, owning such a substantial amount of these shares is going to hurt them over the long run. And some may say that this is actually beneficial to creating shareholder value. So I don't think that this class action is going to explode. But again, it is always possible. Now let's take a look at the previous Palantir lawsuit that we were discussing in my last Palantir video. So we can see that the NHS has promised transparency in any future deals with US data from Palantir over the pandemic. And right here, you can see the lawsuit was withdrawn by Open Democracy, and the NHS clarified it would follow the proper process in the future. Now, this is very interesting because the data that I had in the news articles that I had available to me at the time that I recorded my last Palantir video about this lawsuit was this right here. Open Democracy came out and said, we've won our lawsuit over Matt Hancock's 23 million pound, I messed that up in my last video, so 23 million pound NHS data deal with Palantir. So this is very interesting that Open Democracy is coming out and saying that they have won, and the NHS is coming out and saying, well, they threw out our lawsuit and we agreed to just follow the proper precautions next time. So it is possible that Palantir and the NHS do not renew their contract that was already renewed for 2 years in December, but I really don't think that's going to happen. Palantir has proved themselves time and time again how useful they are in handling with the pandemic to the NHS, and I think that the NHS and a couple of these other UK government agencies are going to see how amazing this software is and want to use it in their section of the government as well. Now, we also have to take a look at this new potential contract that Palantir is going to be receiving. So this is a Reddit post So you got to always take these with a grain of salt, especially in this situation where there is no link. So I was looking all over the internet through all of the different sources that I could look for, and I couldn't find anything that says Palantir had a new win announced with the Department of Energy. The potential value of the contract is about $90 million and the initial delivery order of $7 million. Now, this would be very big if Palantir is also getting into the energy sector. We've also seen them get into this energy type play with Rio Tinto down in South America, but this would be very big for Palantir getting into the Department of Energy in the United States. So this is unconfirmed at the current time. If it does get confirmed, I will create another video analyzing it in full and going over all of the details. So coming back over to the chart of Palantir, I don't think it's really beneficial to you guys for me to give you short-term price targets because this company, as Alex Karp has said, they're trying to create long-term shareholder value and work as a company to make themselves the best that they can possibly be. So there is going to be volatility in the short term, but I do believe that Palantir is going to be a $100+ stock over the next 5 years. So in my opinion, Palantir has so much upside ahead of it, and this is going to be one of the best stocks that you can put your money into for the long term. But again, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are my own personal opinions. So that is going to wrap up this update on Palantir. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a great long weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.